Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have been banned from attending Christmas with the royal family as King Charles and Prince William put their foot down about the Sussexes, who are still trying to claim the festive season is all about family. They hate their own families, folks, so this is ludicrous. That development comes, though, as Meghan gives a brand new interview to Marie Claire magazine after another solo appearance without Prince Harry. Now, this was on Friday night. There's been a lot of criticism about how she looked, and I'll come to that later. But let me tell you about this forenoon interview with Kristen Contino in Venice Beach, where Meghan said a whole load of stuff that just makes absolutely no sense. So I'll take you through some of her quotes while we can look at her at the event. Meghan said, "From my standpoint, I think part of why we wanted to make sure we had the opportunity to all be together, so many of us at Thanksgiving right now, is that as the holidays come up and have already begun in many regards, it brings up so much emotion for people. You miss home, you miss your country, and also can find comfort in the new community that you have here. I'm grateful that we are able to be part of that community."
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry reportedly won't be attending Christmas with the royal family, as King Charles and Prince William reportedly drew a line about the Sussexes, who continue to insist that the holiday season is all about family. They seem to have their own version of family, folks. It's kind of unbelievable. This news comes as Meghan gives a fresh interview to Marie Claire following yet another solo public appearance without Harry. This happened on Friday night, and naturally, there's already chatter about her appearance. But let's focus on the content of the interview first. In a morning conversation with Kristen Contino in Venice Beach, Meghan shared a lot of statements that, frankly, leave people scratching their heads. Let's go through some of her quotes while we look at footage from the event. She said, "From my perspective, part of why we wanted the chance to all be together, especially during Thanksgiving, is that the holidays bring up so much emotion. You think about home, you think about your country, and also find comfort in the new community we have here. I'm grateful to be part of that community. But Meghan, what about your actual family? What about your father nearby, or your sister, Samantha Markle, who recently celebrated a milestone birthday? No card, no visit," she continued. "I love the holidays. Now that Archie and Lily are 3 and 5, it gets better every year. At first, as a parent, you just enjoy having them there without them understanding everything. But now, I can't wait to see the season through their eyes each year." If you want the latest royal updates, juicy gossip, and all the inside stories first, hit that subscribe button, tap the bell, and join our Royal Watch community today.
Meghan, what about your own community? What about your father just down the road? What about your sister, Samantha Markle, my friend who turned 60 yesterday? You didn't even send a card. But Meghan went on. "I love the holidays," she said, claiming that now Archie and Lilibet are 3 and 5. It gets better every year. And Meghan told Marie Claire, "At first, I think as a mum with children, you're just enjoying having them there, but they're not understanding everything that's happening yet. But now we're at the age where I just can't wait to see it through their lens every year." She said that for Thanksgiving, the Sussexes are always pretty low key, and that being close to my mom is great. Meghan went on, "I was thinking about in the past few years of having Thanksgiving here, like many of us. I think you always make sure there's room at the table for your friends who don't have family, which is really key." Meghan, again, rather than making room at your table for your friends who don't have family, how about you make room at your table for your actual family, for your actual father who is desperate to meet his 2 grandchildren? Meghan went on, "We're always making sure we have something fun to do. Like any other family, you spend time having a great meal, and then what do? Play games, all the same stuff. Someone brings a guitar, fun. Every single holiday is a new adventure." But things then just got worse for Meghan after this interview, because it was revealed by the New York Post, no less, with a whole load of Sussex spin, that Harry and Meghan have been banned from attending Christmas celebrations with the royal family. Now, of course, this is the right decision, but Harry and Meghan had to spin it in their own way as if they're happy about this decision. So let's look at this New York Post story now. It reads, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are set to celebrate Christmas at their Montecito mansion, the Post can confirm. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have once again been snubbed from the guest list to the royal family's annual get-together at Sandringham, leaving them to carve out other plans for the festive season. Instead, the duo will celebrate Christmas with Markle's mom, Doria Ragland, a source told Closer. They plan to make it extra special. Meghan's mom, Doria, will join them at home in Montecito. They'll ensure the children have a joyful day despite not being around an extended family. So, Lee Cohen joins me now stateside. He is, of course, a royal expert who writes for The Spectator, The Sun, and The Daily Telegraph, amongst other publications. Lee, can you believe this? Meghan Markle talking about making room at her table for people who don't have family on Thanksgiving and Christmas when her father is just down the road. I'm sorry, Lee. This interview made me sick.
Well, Dan, you ask, can I believe this? Sadly, I can believe this. This is classic Meghan. I mean, is she really interested in the humanitarian aspects of, meeting with these women, or is this yet another staged opportunity to be in the public eye? But in any event, in classic Meghan style, it smacks of tone deafness, because while there are many Americans in need and they're struggling here at home, Markle seems more focused on championing causes abroad. If she truly cares about community, perhaps she should start by prioritizing the well-being of fellow Americans instead of indulging in feel-good tokenism aimed at foreign guests. And perhaps Markle would be more respected in America if she used her profile to address the very urgent problems facing her American countrymen and women, instead of perpetually virtue signaling to earn points elsewhere.
I know, you're completely right. And let's have a look at what Brittany from the Royal News Network had to say about this. She wrote, for Christmas, and Lee, you know I'm not a fashion guy. So I'm putting this in Brittany's words, okay? But she wrote, for Christmas, a steamer or iron should definitely be on Meghan Markle's wish list, as she clearly doesn't own one. Those pants are seriously awful. She then posted this picture and said the author of the Marie Claire article also posted this picture. The pants look even more hideous from this angle.
But you know what, Dan, on that note, and I saw that post too from Brittany, and I immediately thought, Meghan wouldn't be in any predicament of that type with rumpled clothes or anything if she still had the palace machine behind her, who go, to every level to make sure that people are turned out perfectly.
Such a good point. I mean, this article, though, was just utterly fawning in Marie Claire, though, because it spoke about the Duchess of Sussex, dressed in her signature neutrals, checks in with every woman at our table, following up on conversations they had earlier this year when she joined the group to cook traditional Afghan food. And you're not going to believe this next line, Lee, remembering that Meghan Markle has been described by her staff as the dictator in high heels and is facing numerous bullying allegations on both sides of the Atlantic. But listen to this. This is in Marie Claire. We should just call Marie Claire now a paid PR operation for the Duchess of Sussex, because they write, like her husband, Prince Harry, she possesses the gift of not only making everyone in the room feeling instantly comfortable, but also valued. And working in this business, I can assure you, that is no small feat.
As the royal family readies for their traditional Christmas celebrations at Sandringham, whispers are spreading that Meghan Markle won't be in attendance this year, and some insiders claim not by choice. Rumors suggest the Duchess of Sussex has been deliberately left off the guest list, This comes after Meghan's latest U.S. Magazine interview, where she allegedly offered new comments about her time inside the royal circle, remarks some see as misleading or unfair. The fallout, according to palace sources, has reignited old tensions behind closed doors. A few tabloids have even used the word banned. But what's the truth behind that headline? Let's break down what's fact, what's speculation, and what's being met with royal silence. For generations, Christmas at Sandringham has been one of the monarchy's strongest traditions, a moment not just for family festivities, but a public symbol of unity and continuity. Prince Harry was once a regular face there. Meghan joined him for the 2017 and 2018 gatherings. But since their decision to step back from royal duties in 2020, the couple hasn't returned for the holidays. Now, in 2025, that absence looks set to continue. Recent reports allege Meghan has been formally excluded from this year's event, citing her latest public remarks as the reason. Her interview, described as provocative by one outlet, has apparently reopened old wounds within the palace and the wider family. Still, one question remains: is Meghan truly banned from Sandringham, or is this just another royal rumor spun by a press hungry for drama?
The tone of this article made me suppress nausea. It's a thinly veiled attempt to paint the Sussexes as, or her as, relatable, down to earth, warm, and normal. And nothing could be further from the truth. This kind of everyday family narrative only highlights how far removed Harry and Meghan are from the reality most people face. And that article also mentioned, or perhaps I read it somewhere else, in reference to this event, that in the past, Meghan had people like Gloria Steinem to her dinner table. And, well, newsflash, inviting high-profile figures like Gloria Steinem to Thanksgiving or other things in your home doesn't make you down to earth. It makes you look more like you're trying to win the approval of a niche elite audience.
Oh, without any doubt. Without any doubt. I completely agree with that, because she's only inviting the rich neighbours. She's only inviting the influential neighbours. She's only inviting the neighbours who she thinks will do something for her, Lee. Now, I'm actually delighted that we've got confirmation that the royal family haven't invited Harry and Meghan. But isn't it bad that yet again the Sussex PR team are working in overdrive, trying to make them the victims to the New York Post? Like, oh, how terrible that the royal family haven't invited them and they're going to be left alone. Why on earth should King Charles and Prince William invite Harry and Meghan to Christmas, Lee? Why on earth do they deserve an invitation after everything that they've put the royal family through these past few years?
Of course they don't. After constantly undermining and attacking the monarchy and accusing them of racism, who in the world would want them at their Christmas table, especially if that Christmas table were at Sandringham, Dan? I mean, their presence would only fuel discord, division, and, dare I say, indigestion.
Yeah, it would. A lot of indigestion. No, I was happy. I just thought, this is the reason, Lee, that Charles and William and Catherine and Zara and Mike, the list goes on, don't trust you, Harry and Meghan, because you haven't been invited, but you're trying to spin the story. You haven't been invited because you have no relationship at the moment with the royal family. You haven't been invited because it would all of a sudden blow up into a big security issue. There are loads of reasons why it is best that you stay away. You don't need to spin that. You don't need to talk about that in a way that somehow makes you the victim.
Well, and Dan, Harry and Meghan have proven themselves to be dangerous and untrustworthy, dangerous reputationally for not only the royal family, dangerous reputationally for themselves. And their exclusion, by the royal family is a smart move to protect them, protect the family, especially at a moment of difficult health for some of its members. They don't need that kind of discord and
because it would
tension.
turn the whole day into a palaver. It would be incredibly uncomfortable for Catherine. This is, of course, her first Christmas after everything that she's gone through this year, let alone the fact that the monarch is suffering from his own really very bad cancer. At the same time, though, Lee, obviously, if they were good people, they would want to bring the grandchildren for the king to see. That might give him a lift. But unfortunately, because of all of the negative stuff, That's not going to happen. But can I just ask you, Lee, quickly about Polo, which is the new Harry and Meghan Netflix series out on December the 10th. And you're talking about these two being out of touch. Well, isn't the ultimate example of them being out of touch this horrendous sort of Real Housewives show, which, given when they joined Netflix, it was all about promoting world peace and doing really good deeds, shows you just how far they have fallen. Because to me, and look, I don't mind if people want to watch Polo. I'm not some class war type guy. If you want to spend millions and millions of pounds going around the world to play polo on the back of horses, good on you. But remember, it's Harry and Meghan that are little Miss and Mr. Culture Warrior.
No, absolutely. And, it couldn't be more out of touch, Dan, with, they're trying to position themselves as being, the average American family now. But something else that strikes me about this Polo situation, the Polo Netflix series, is that they released a trailer recently, and it was a 148-second trailer that focused entirely on the polo players and their relationships with absolutely no appearance by Harry or Meghan.
Reports from unnamed insiders suggest that key members of the royal family, especially the senior ones, were left deeply offended, viewing Meghan's latest interview as yet another effort to shape the public narrative. Still, it's worth pointing out that no official confirmation of any ban has been issued, and as expected, Buckingham Palace continues its steady silence. Let's take a moment to rewind. Here's what's actually clear. Meghan and Harry haven't announced any plans to attend the festivities. There's been no mention of an invitation, and leaks from within palace circles often serve a purpose: to guide public perception, whichever side benefits. The word ban sounds dramatic, but it's not a term the royals generally use. A more realistic possibility? Either there was no invitation extended or the couple themselves chose to stay away, fully aware their presence might steal the spotlight. The timing of Meghan's interview with an American lifestyle magazine hasn't helped either. Though reports differ, several outlets highlight similar themes: her claims of limited support during royal duties, subtle criticisms of royal customs and rank, and comments that appear to conflict with earlier statements. These contradictions have led critics to brand her words as misleading or even untrue. Whether those accusations are fair or not, one thing is certain: the royal household remains extremely sensitive to public interviews, particularly those that reopen old wounds from the past.
And so there's been a lot of rumblings about this. And one Hollywood insider was said to have noted that any reasonable person tuning into a show about polo made by Prince Harry would expect Prince Harry to be in a starring role. Now, we've only seen the trailer, so we don't know what's to follow. But could this be a bait and switch? I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, look at the reaction to the trailer there, Lee. I mean, people are very much going to be hate watching this show. What we don't know is if they didn't want to make the series all about Harry and Meghan, so they didn't let people down and they will appear in some sort of cameo role, or was a decision made that they are just so toxic that putting them in the series is not a good idea at all. Either way, Lee, I predict this is going to be their biggest flop yet. And even if it's a moderate success, it will be people hate watching, and it's not worth Netflix paying ridiculous amounts of money to get a reality TV series about polo, which so easily could have been made without the involvement of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. So we know this deal is failing. It is struggling.
To speak like an American, or that his dialect is morphing into something. Dan, if I were lucky enough to have Harry's pedigree, you wouldn't catch me. I would speak like the monarch, or Jacob Rees-Mogg, who I think has the best elocution in the world, aside from you.
Whereas Harry's wanting to sound American. Oh no, I'm anything but posh with my New Zealand tone. But you're right. In Canada, we sort of heard this weird American twang. I just find him so cringe at the moment. I find it all so cringe, but I guess he's going through a tough time because, the marriage hasn't worked out in the way that he wanted. But I'm surely they're going to have such a happy Thanksgiving and such a happy Christmas. Doria, Meghan and Harry, not. But Lee Cohen, thank you so much. Obviously, keep up with your brilliant work on X, but also via The Spectator, The Daily Telegraph, and The Sun. So great to have you on Outspoken today.
Pleasure to be with you. Thanks.
For a monarchy that thrives on quiet restraint and subtlety, another headline-grabbing interview might simply be one step too far. Interestingly, recent reports suggest that Prince Harry could still take part in a Christmas event or a private family gathering, even without Meghan by his side. That alone hints the palace might be keeping the door open for him, while quietly drawing a line around Meghan's involvement. This approach fits perfectly with the palace's recent tone, gently reaffirming Harry's bond with his family, while keeping Meghan's position intentionally unclear. So, has Meghan Markle really been banned from spending Christmas with the royals? There's no definitive proof either way, but what's becoming increasingly visible is a widening divide between Meghan and the institution itself. Is this a deliberate move by Meghan and Harry, or does the royal family still hold on to unresolved resentment? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoy balanced, insightful takes on royal stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.